Stress, anxiety, and hopelessness, these aren't just personal struggles. What if I told you that the feelings of despair you experience are actually reflections of a deeper societal crisis? You're not alone in feeling this way. Many of us are weighed down by a world that feels overwhelming. In this video, we'll uncover the real reasons behind the doomer mindset, why so many people are losing hope, and how, against all odds, some are turning despair into personal growth. Could you do the same? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might see the world and your place in it differently. Hit the like button, subscribe, and let's dive into this exploration of hope within hopelessness. The doomer as a reflection of society's broken promises. The doomer isn't just someone who's given up. They represent an entire generation that was promised so much: economic security, stable careers, and a clear path to success. But now, they're facing a completely different reality. Housing prices are through the roof, wages are stagnant, and the climate crisis looms large. These feelings of hopelessness aren't just individual failures. They're the product of a society that has let many of us down. The pressure to conform to an ideal that's no longer attainable has pushed many into despair. But understanding that this isn't a personal failure is empowering. Once you see that the world is asking for something impossible, you can begin to reframe how you respond to it. Here's the question: are you stuck in this narrative, or are you ready to reclaim your own story? The truth is, many feel trapped by the expectations placed on them by previous generations. The dream of financial stability, homeownership, or even finding a career with purpose has become unattainable for many. This disconnect between expectation and reality is a driving force behind the doomer's mindset. And it's not just limited to finances. Societal expectations around success, relationships, and even happiness are often unattainable in today's world. Recognizing these pressures is the first step to taking control. Rather than being consumed by despair, what if you question the systems that push these unrealistic goals? Hopelessness and existential crisis. Finding meaning in a chaotic world. Let's go deeper. The doomer isn't just dealing with external challenges. They're grappling with some of the oldest philosophical questions in the world. Why are we here? What's the point if everything is falling apart? This is where existentialism comes into play. Philosophers like Albert Camus and Jean-Paul Sartre have long argued that life itself is absurd. The universe doesn't provide inherent meaning, and that can be terrifying. But it can also be freeing. If the world is chaotic, you have the power to define your own purpose. Camus believed in rebelling against the absurd by living authentically and creating your own meaning. So ask yourself, what if this hopelessness isn't the end, but the beginning of something new? How can you use these feelings to redefine your life? In a way, the doomer is asking the right questions. They've recognized the lack of inherent meaning in a world that often seems out of control. But where the doomer mindset falls short is in its conclusion: giving up. Instead of viewing hopelessness as an end, you can view it as a blank canvas. You get to decide what your life means, even if the world around you is chaotic. Ask yourself, what meaning can you create out of your current situation? Could this moment of despair actually be a turning point? From doomer to bloomer, how hopelessness becomes growth. The transition from doomer to bloomer is all about small shifts. The bloomer doesn't have everything figured out, but they've learned to thrive despite the chaos. Instead of focusing on what's wrong with the world, they focus on what they can control. It starts with small, intentional actions, finding joy in the little things, pursuing creative outlets, or just learning to live in the present moment. For the bloomer, life is about growth, even when the future looks uncertain. The key is to stop looking for answers outside of yourself and start cultivating peace within. Think about this. What small shift can you make today to change your outlook? Even in the smallest of actions, the bloomer learns to find purpose. It's not about trying to fix everything at once, but taking manageable steps to build resilience. They begin to see that life's meaning can be found in how they approach the mundane moments, the challenges, and the quiet joys. Could it be that the things we overlook, the simple daily routines or small acts of kindness, hold the key to reversing the downward spiral of despair? Economic despair and the power of collective action. Let's talk economics. It's no secret that many people today feel financially trapped. Wages have stagnated, the gig economy has made job security a thing of the past, and the cost of living continues to rise. But here's the interesting part. While these economic struggles fuel the doomer mindset, they've also sparked something powerful: collective action. We're seeing the rise of mutual aid networks, co-ops, and grassroots movements. People are finding ways to support each other and build communities outside of the traditional economic systems. While these actions won't solve the global economic crisis overnight, they offer a glimpse of hope and show that even in the darkest times, people can come together. So, instead of feeling alone in your struggles, how can you tap into the power of community? This collective action is not just about survival, it's about reclaiming power. The doomer feels isolated, but the bloomer understands that by connecting with others, they can build something greater. Economic despair doesn't have to be the end. It can be the beginning of a movement toward a better, more supportive way of living. Could the future be less about individual success and more about collective well-being? The doomer meme: how internet culture reflects and amplifies hopelessness. Finally, let's talk about the doomer as a cultural icon. The doomer meme started as dark humor on the internet, but it quickly evolved into a powerful reflection of a generation's feelings of despair. Sharing memes allows people to process complex emotions through humor, offering a strange kind of comfort in knowing that others feel the same. But here's the question: is the internet helping us cope, or is it keeping us stuck in hopelessness? While memes offer temporary relief, they can also reinforce negative thought patterns. But they also highlight something crucial: community. Sharing these memes reminds us that we're not alone in our struggles. And sometimes, simply knowing that others understand your pain can be the first step toward healing. How can we use the power of the internet to not just express our despair, but to transform it into something greater? This is where the internet's dual role comes into play. It can either deepen our despair or provide an outlet for hope. Memes about hopelessness can serve as a way to bond, but they can also become self-fulfilling prophecies if we let them define our worldview. The doomer mindset reflects the reality of modern life: uncertainty, disillusionment, and despair. But within that hopelessness lies the potential for growth. By understanding the root causes of our struggles and taking small, intentional steps, we can shift from despair to hope. Ask yourself, what is this feeling of hopelessness trying to teach me? How can I use it as a stepping stone to something greater? If this video resonated with you, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Together, we can start shifting the narrative from doomer to bloomer.